As you can probably guess, it was called by the way, as a stallion. Well, you don't think it was 11, so it's only 4 years ago. So you can see, from my point of view, my initial observations of him are that there's a pretty good chance he's got this Lord Sandy. I'd say that's quite a good guess, looking at how his crest is. I mean, obviously some of that is the fact that he was a stallion up until quite recently. He's actually quite chunky as well, there's quite a lot of fat in there. But also, if you look down his rib area here, you get these like pockets of fat. And this is quite normal where you don't really get much across the ribs. You can feel all his ribs there quite happy, so you don't look at him and think, God, he's grossly overweight, but he's got these pads of fat in these areas, and again here, like I said, a lot of it is because he's entire, or he's been entire, sorry. Another good place to look is down here. You can see these sort of pads of fat here, and sometimes under the sheath, you often see it around the sheath. You have like quite a lot of like cod fat, I suppose you call it. So that's my sort of initial observation about him. He's 15 years old, so you'd be thinking he's about the right sort of age for Cushings as well. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but if I get along and eat it now, I'll always check them for insulin resistance and Cushings, because I get fed up with treating them and then finding out, months down the line, with sometimes unsuccessful treatment, that why they're not better. Going to his feet, and obviously you can probably all see, or I think everyone's seen anyway, how the shape of his feet and everything. The main thing I would be concerned about is the crack on the inside of that foot. Well, sorry, the main thing actually is he's had laminitis. There's the pictures there, but we can't project them onto the screen, unfortunately. But we've got something.
Not mate. Might be able to do it.
I don't know if everyone can see the pictures there. These are the latest ones done last week. You can see there that obviously still got the shoe on there. We're looking here at this bit here is the dorsal wall. Sorry, dorsal wall's there. There's a little bit of capsular rotation. You can't really see the dorsal wall on the projector. There's a little bit of phalangeal rotation in this left foot, but not horrendous. Maybe you could argue that the tip of P3 is a little bit remodeled there. And the right one, similar sort of picture. You'd say a little bit of capsular rotation, less than before, I think, and a bit of phalangeal rotation as well. So I've certainly seen a lot worse than that before. Going on to the deep interviews, just looking at the deep interviews, you can see there on the inside wall, maybe doesn't project that well on that one, but certainly on the right one, it looks a little bit narrower on this side. The thing you've got to be careful of with these though is that sometimes when you do x-rays, if you're not stood with a foot on each block, both feet on blocks, what you find is you can get a bit of an artificial narrowing of the joint space. You've always got to be a little bit careful about that. But it is quite turned in resource. So, I think, well, I don't know, what do you call that? The medial lateral balance. No, I was just saying about the radiographs and the deep views, how they look as if it's maybe a bit narrow on the side there.
The top joint space looks, if you look, it's narrower on this side than it is on that side. Like Simon says, when it was x-rayed, I think in the block, instead of it being stood on 2 blocks, it was only stood on 1, which would naturally give it that. Which may account for this this anomaly in the joint spaces, although it is a sign that things aren't right within the foot. The balance isn't too bad. You can see the crack on the inside. The wall's basically just delaminated itself. There's nothing to gain really from trying to repair that, because more than likely it would come out, and the injury was through the coronary band, and it would just grow back anyway. I think we're stuck with that crack was stuck with. It's got sheared heels as well. I was going to do a quick talk on sheared heels before we started the horse, just to bring you up to speed. But a telltale sign, you can see the wall on the lateral side is really upright, and the wall on the medial side is quite flared, which again is a sign of sheared heels. It's one of the things you'd expect to see on a horse with sheared heels, with this big upright outside. So we're quite mindful not to do anything radical today, or anything that's going to put the horse back, because it is moving in the right direction. You see it's got a bit of rotation there as well, so there's kind of three problems that are conspiring against the horse. Plus, it's a European, it's got narrow heels, it's got upright feet. I think it would be foolish to try and shoe this horse the English way by lowering the heels. Generally, these European horses, as a general rule, whatever I take off the toe, I also take off the heel. I don't tend to try and take double off the heel with the toe to try and get this nice round English shaped foot. It just doesn't. It isn't going to happen with him. He wouldn't thank you for doing it, so you'd almost certainly learn him that way. Oh yeah. So he had an egg bar on. We're going to go for a heart bar this time. We've narrowed the heels right up. Part of the problem when you have feet that are this contracted is covering the inside and giving it enough on the outside. But as long as the heels are covered and the bars are covered, we'll fit the heart bar without any positive pressure. So we're just going to fit it nice and level with the frog, and just try and support the hoof. Like I say, he is moving in the right direction, so it would be foolish to try and do anything radical. Is it? We're just waiting for some nails. So we've got the. You got it.
The other thing about this crack as well is it just highlights how important it is to get onto these these wounds around the coronary band. I'm always really careful about those. I always try and stick to them or staple them. If you ever see a cut around the coronary band, you've got to try and get it realigned as soon as possible. Otherwise, you're going to end up with this. This will probably never repair completely, so I'm sure you're all aware of that. So, if you do get a cut, make sure you try and get it sutured by the vet as soon as you can. And really, it's just a case of controlling now. I would normally remove all that crack as well. I think if you can get rid of it, but it's just very difficult seeing the horses that run off, especially when it has been improving. I've been more inclined to just a bit more of the same, to be honest. Looks like everyone's been doing a good job there. The only extra thing, because of the laminitis or laminitic change that there is there, I tend to put the hot bars on as well, so rather than egg bars. There's quite a few farriers who don't like egg bars at all. I don't know if there's any of them here, but I know certainly the use of leaders is dead against egg bars, even to see the content.
Is it? I think something like that. The use of the first straight to egg, if possible. So we'll just get this nailed on and then get the camera around so you can. I mean, you can have a look at the end as well if you want to come over and probably sick of picking his feet up by then. But so we just, like I say, we narrowed the heel right on the heart bar. You see, he's got incredibly. He hasn't got much wall at all to play with. But this is a classic example. Like I've said it once already, I think a big mistake would be to do anything radical, but he's moving in the right direction. He hasn't got the best speed in the world. Not an awful lot. The ones on this side, you can see that we give it plenty of width inside and outside, which is gone out of necessity and just the mechanics of trying to fit a heart bar to a shoe that contracted at the heels. You are going to have width, which is not a bad thing, certainly in this case. Considering that you're shoeing it for 4, 5, 6 weeks down the line, it's really tight when you put it on. By the time you come back, it's going to be even tighter.
Don't try and shift the camera around.
What, on this side?
Yeah. That's where they come from. Still on. That's it, Doug.
Okay. You can see, certainly from this angle, the foot's twisted, the crack on the inside. Can't really see. There you go. Head that way. Can you see the foot's just delaminated, it's just completely coming away. And this crack's only just started to open up. And the options, the farrier options to treat that crack are very minimal. One is you're not going to fix it and it's going to repair itself. Two, modern materials, dremeling it out and so on, it just won't stay in, and the crack's too big. You couldn't really put plates or anything on to try and hold it because there's nothing past the crack at the heel, there's absolutely nothing to attach it to. So you can see that it's a fairly chronic crack that we've got, which won't be helping his problems and his issues. So like I say, we've gone for the heart bar with plenty of width either side, supporting the heels, covering the heels and the bars, fitting around the toe, and then, like I say, he is sound, and he is better than he's been going, so it's just a case really of keeping him going in the right direction. Will he ever have feet good enough to go on a magazine? No. Yes. Simon, is there anything you...
Yeah, I think the main thing with the crack is that it looks like it's got the pressure off it at the moment, because that bottom is dropped off, which is, I think it's always got to cracks, just get rid of them. I mean, it looks like it's a good run anyway. I'd be tempted to take it off, but just seeing him as a one-off and see the sound horse, you're a bit reluctant to do too much messing about and end up crippled. Yeah.
The bit that's hanging off in the crack is not really doing anything. So again, I'd be tempted to take the flaky bits, delaminate it off. But the actual meat of the crack itself.
I mean, well, you can put filler in, you can put plates across Scott, but if he's sound, it's a really good thing.
You can see how on his feet are. Oh, there you go. Camera there. And he has these x-rays. Do you want to have a quick look at them? That's the right. Yeah, he has got laminated. You will see on the x-rays there is rotation there. There's a bit more rotation this time to last time. Again, the feet look pretty settled, and he is sound. So again, anything too radical, which supports the idea of the heart bar. But again, you don't want to be putting too much pressure.
And I found it was quite soft there, but he didn't respond to it until the leaf test was on. Yeah, there is. Yeah, lots of soul depth.
This horse normally has road nails put in. Certainly as a general rule, as a precaution, when you get a feet like this, if you can possibly get away with it or almost insist on it, don't start putting road nails up there. And also what you'll do is you'll point load the foot, the road, what you're after, especially with the hard bar and everything that he's got and the issues he's got, landing and loading, the last thing you want to do is create two little pivot points for the foot to load first. So I would almost certainly leave the road nails out, put them in the hides if you have to. But anything like this, if your client wants road nails, try and steer them away from road nails, just so you're achieving good level landing. And especially on these, don't put one in just the outside or just the inside. If you are going to use them, use two. But wherever possible, don't use any at all.
Well, you haven't floated that medial heel, and this horse has got sheer heels, you say, and yet this crack is opening and closing because this foot is loaded.
Yeah.
Why haven't you floated that heel?
Because the balance when you look down the foot isn't too bad. Before it was trimmed, it was actually high outside, not high inside.
Yeah, but this is never going to have a chance to sort of semi-repair if it keeps opening and closing like that. You know what you've seen? Look.
Yeah, if you look through the coronary band, the hairline crack that goes up, it's never going to repair because the villi in that area are gone now, they're damaged.
No, but because that shunted, if that used to be floated the heel to give the coronary band a chance to descend, it's always going to stay shunted when it's loaded.
Yeah. So you're saying that you would, even though it's high outside, you would float the inside heel?
Because he's got a barrier on, he's got enough stability to float that anyway.
I disagree. I think that's right for that particular horse, not to float the inside heel.
I can see your point.
Absolutely.
Taking pressure off that inside area would actually reduce the pressure on that crack. And like I said, maybe, it isn't that how we shunted up, I don't think. Maybe it is a little bit actually, yeah, so, right.
Not a lot.
No, just
easy.
Yeah, there is.
He has got a hard bash on.
Yeah, that crack's come off actually, the body of the crack has come off, so it's almost done that itself in a way. So hopefully it should come down. But yeah, I think if it hadn't done that, I'd have attempted to do that to get the threshold from that. With these, you do sort of wonder, is it even worth holding the wound up and then stitching it back together and seeing if you can get it to heal again? But it's just too much of a risk to do that. You have to make a bigger crack than you have before.
When there's still pressure on it, you can do it.
When there's still pressure on the wound. Yeah, well, that's why cracks. You're only taking the pressure on that small area, not necessarily taking Yeah, good. Yeah, it seems pretty clean in there, but if I see the finger in, there's going to be some infection. Yeah, and if you've not got any sensitive tissue at school, you can put things like iron oxide or cold iron or something that make it more. You can still got those pores and stuff, still in the body just to get
Like opera. Now it's totally different doors. It smells exactly the same. With Morris smell. Burning keratin. Yeah, probably does smell the same further away. Yeah. Similar. That's all it is, isn't it? Basically, compact air, isn't it? Each other against him that day. Well, Alan would talk, but Dave would have not talked to him. I don't know how much of it was true. He really took umbrage with that. It's incredible. It's what happened in his house. He didn't eat. I had to watch it. One of my dad's Joe Blackie like that. Walking stick, I did that. I never had testing like that. I said to my dad, why Joe? He's done Japanese coal mine. Pinned down there, went rushing the bomb on the top. And I knew they were going to be free. So I went to see the garden. Someone had a golden horse. So jealous as he never forgets it. He went down to London. He went down to London for that veterans place. Driving up Mapple, those boys doing the back. Biggest inshot you can do. His son said, all the agreed to take. Even retroactive and stacking. For me, so even if it's only a couple £100, and they'll have a bench built for him. The reason. I don't like you say this pension in memory of old Joe 4 years of Japanese. Some great. talk about German shit. I mean, that's just commissioning, isn't it? You're not allowed to have big thoughts about it nowadays, are you? I think it's ridiculous. You can't take it. You might not like those cartoons where Anglo-French, British troops and French aircraft. So, not a bad idea. Cartoon is playing French, English general. English must be real do the flight. Or Viking hotel. Smallest book in the world. The Book of French Glory Road. The mates of the new Italian place. White rock and a white background. Red wine drink and garlic smelling unique to very well into a minute. I don't know how to think of French, although I don't know I I'm not stopping. You come with me. I'm not fond of this thing. On average, £12 a year. £12 a month is a bit of money. So I feel sorry for the problem with what. We started sinking to see how many countries we've given aid to come to Ireland. Not many. They don't do it. One check the pound pennies off, and not going to somebody else. Stretch of water between the first and the well, the way things are going with Euro, might be the hardest thing I've ever done. That's one thing I will do. I never entered that Euro because I promised to do that referendum. When they were saying, oh well, we're going to do it referendum. We did do it. Whether it were one that
Don't take it personally, but sit down and wait to see. Yeah.
What's wrong? I ended up being lost.
Right. You just clenched up the last foot now, and then you can come down and have a look. I mean, there's quite literally, I don't know, 5 or 6 different ways you can shoot this horse. From A bars to straight bars to half bars.
My name?
Yeah.
Mark.
Mark. Yeah, I was having a chat with Annie saying you put straight bars on it, which is fair enough. If you were going to put straight bars on this, it would have to be handmade because the distance between the heels is so tight. A ready-made straight bar shoot just wouldn't go on. So again, we've gone for bearing in mind that the horse is moving in the right direction. We haven't had much time to look at it. If it was my horse on my round, I'd certainly have a go doing a little bit more with the crack. And trying to, you're never going to get the romantic pair, I don't think. Try and work on the heels slightly over a longer period of time. It's not really an option just to drop the heels and try and make them more of a curve. So we've gone for safety first. We've gone for a pair of half bars. They are two different sizes. Once he's taken his shoe off, if you want to come down and have a look, pick it up, then feel free.
I just agree with that. I mean, the other thing I always think about is just do things gradually, do it slowly. I mean, like Dorian's been doing really is he's done a great job of keeping the sound by the looks of it because he's got all these confidence and yet, well, as you saw outside, he's not in painkillers, is he? No. And yet he's sounded out painkillers and walking reasonably well. Okay, he's got these problems, he's got rotation, he's got quite a flat sole, he's got this crack, he's got these sheer heels. Any one of those things could throw the horse away, and so it's amazing really with his sound. I agree with Paul. I think I'd sort of be taking the crack off probably. I think all he's doing is trapping dirt in there, and by doing that all you're going to do is, well, potentially I suppose get infection, trapping into the skin and maybe causing cellulitis or something.
How far back do you take this crack? Do you want to do it now?
Not really.
Do you want me to do it?
I think if you ask me what probably it's the best way of getting rid of it. I suppose you can use nippers on the top of it if you want to, or on part of it. But again, I'm really looking to sort of play the first time I've seen the horse, and I just think just grasp that off really. Try and grasp it as close as you can, because all that's doing is trapping infection of the ages. It's got no structural integrity really, it's not holding anything, it's not bearing any weight, it's just, if anything, more likely to flap around and trap dirt. I think the only good thing with that is it looks like the sort of distal surface of the lower parts of it has just fallen off, so there's no way of bearing on it at all, otherwise I think it would be even worse, and it probably would be laying on it, I would say. But as Paul said, you're never going to get rid of that crack, I don't think, unless by some real back heels. I suppose there is possibly a chance of that if you take the weight off it like you have there. But you've got to, well, you have to have a lot to look for that. You've got to take that off. I mean, you can actually see, I think probably everyone saw the video before how it was moving as he went more on it. It was you know, you can see it moving independently, so it's just going to make things worse. And again, I think it's quite a tough horse, because, like I say, the laryngitis and these things there, and it is sensitive when you start prodding that crack, you just respond, doesn't it? So, I think that's a good start, you know, like I say, do things slowly, because you can always, it's one of the, obviously you've got probably, well, you can, officials who've got, you know, once you turn it off, you can't just sort of move it back on really, that is okay. So I would be tempted to just do things a little often really.
Doesn't it?
It's usually every 5 weeks. 5 weeks, yeah. I'd certainly look at that and do a lot of nice as well, looking at 5 weeks. And, I mean, you know, the other option that Paul and I talked about before, you know, I'm a big believer in this sort of hoof filler, just to sort of spread the load a little bit and take it off. I'm not saying you necessarily need it. I mean, by the way, you put mesh in and things like that, but it's up to you.
This.
Phil. But, I mean, I don't think it's essential. It's got decent frogs, doesn't it? You've got some pressure on there, so.
When I originally started shooting him, I didn't feel the same thing.
Yeah, I think it just transfers away. And then you put it in. So what was that? We're just going shooting or putting shooting?
Shooting it was great, and then it was particularly wet. And it's an expensive job, and it was really back.
Yeah.
So yeah, just left him out. And, you know, it was still sound.
Yeah.
But whatever his sound is.
Well, that's it, exactly. I mean, like I say, that's why I'm a bit reluctant to sort of come in and change too many things at the moment, because it is sound, and so, you know, why not carry on with what you're doing? Really, you know, from my point of view, I would like to come in and I've seen it before, you know, you come along and I dealt with an Arab stallion race and I was going to the European Championships, and he had this driver which was going out, wasn't it? So that's what you were talking about. It was a grass crack, and you know, I sort of like bullied the woman, but I sort of, someone suggested a sort of act, and the horse was sound before, well, Harry put a plate on, put the crack in, the horse was crippled for about a week, and so I was for it, and I got it in the neck for the client. But then yeah, well, no, you just get it in the neck, and then thankfully I did it because now it's grown out, and it would have all just separated. You had a quarter crack that would have come off. You know, you'd have had you would be able to do the European Championship. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? You know, do less or more. What I'm saying is you should have intervened.
And then of course that solved it, so I've been a bit more as well.
Well, at least you've got the extras, I mean that's what you think about it. Having really grasped this essential for you see exactly what you're doing. But you still, sort of compared to the ones that were taken over the sheet, you can see it. Yeah, but it's only, I would against it very and the other thing is he's only had a fake crossing, so
on the outside.
That's my feeling. Anyway, I just don't think it's everything, you know, transfer the weight
So it's not open to the normally but it is essentially what you said about salt water, no, my missus shooting. How much is it? Season so intense. Well, wait and find them and tell him. Well, I mean, He's ever so good. Yeah, he's a good lad. So oh, Jill's going on Facebook. I think we'll do a look at this horse outside. Is that a real horse's foot?
Yeah.
Alright. No, I'm just being funny. No, I don't it's not feeling no. Brought it well.
Well, it's been around for
a while.
Days, I think.
If you could pick them up and send them over like
That's what I was saying, weren't you?
You could do a little nice little desk.
I mean, so it screws back on. Don't cross-thread it. Otherwise I'd be walking like that. Some of that mesh in ball mesh, yeah. Does it fit inside the shoe, or does the shoe fit on the top of it?
I think it fits
in
on
place.
Probably just gives it all a bit of strength once he's bound it all together.
Talked some years ago about making the centre of Birmingham traffic free. The only traffic that would be allowed in the centre of Birmingham was Northbourne traffic. Like it used to be. Somebody says, you know, we're going to do this, park yours up bowling, you come out and find it on 4 piles of brick, but somebody's at kneecaps. I reckon that's where this has come from. That's it.
Okay. Right, welcome to this last bit. It's on modern materials. Primarily it's going to be a full foot sole pack and a dorsal wall crack repair using imprint granules. But before we do that, I'm just going to do a quick 10-minute PowerPoint lecture just on modern materials. Okay, first slide. Types of materials. Modern materials are what we term as polymers. A polymer is a macromolecule of repeated structural units. There are many different types, natural and synthetic, and that's where the term comes from. Poly meaning many and minerals meaning parts. So a polymer means many parts. I'm just going to go through the Yeah, you should be here. Okay, the first type is acrylics, a word you've probably heard, nail varnish and things like that. This is slightly different. They have a distinctive odour. You can see these are often packaged in a two-component cartridge, although they can be mixed by hand. Set time is usually 4 to 6 minutes. You don't see quite so many acrylics about in modern materials nowadays. They've moved on to the next one, which is polyurethanes. These are fast setting. Anyone who's ever used them will know what I mean. The set time on the Vetex stuff is 30 seconds for your initial set. Generally it take a little bit longer than 30 seconds for your full set. I like to keep them up to an hour, just stood on some good hard ground, just to get that final set. But the initial set is 30 seconds, and as soon as you put the stuff down the mixing tube and it starts to mix, as soon as you stop that, within less than 30 seconds, that particular tube, the stuff inside will be set. So they have an incredibly fast setting time. The components are always mixed 1 to 1. If you think of the Vetex tube, you have 2 components, one either side. Again, the Vetex stuff, not very much odor at all. Some of the glues that you use really are quite pungent when you put them in. You can feel it burning your nostrils. The polyurethanes are quite smelly. One of the things is they do not tolerate moisture. The feet, if anything, you're going to put them on the feet. I'm thinking of, it's not so important with the sole pack because it's non-adhesive and you use the mesh and the mesh holds it in. But the sole guard, the black stuff, if you put that onto, inject that into the foot, that's, even if it's slightly wet, it will bond to the first thing it comes into contact with. If that's water, it will bond to the water. Once the water dries, it will fall out. So it's really important if you're going to use sole guard, and Superfast is the same, that you have a very, very dry foot. You can use a heat gun to get the foot and make sure the horse is in the stable the night before, so everything's clean and dry. Success with this stuff is all about your preparation beforehand. It's not just a case of sticking it in. The sole pack's slightly different, and it's a lot easier to use as long as you use the mesh. It comes in a variety of different harnesses. The good example of that is the sole pack, which dries like a bouncy ball consistency, nice and soft, right the way through to Superfast, which dries like concrete. Hence, with the Superfast, you can use to build up the wall, nail into it. You couldn't nail into the sole pack because it's too soft. Epoxies are the old-fashioned system where you get the 2 bits and you mix them together and they wouldn't stick. Again, you don't see so much of that anymore, but they were the first modern materials that came out, tended to be epoxies. And the final one is how would you say it? I don't know.
Cyanoacrylate.
Yeah. It's more commonly known as super glue, so we'll use that term. It's a single component adhesive. Again, you think of super glue, it comes already mixed in one tube. The second it comes out of the tube, it reacts to moisture, in the earth, and it sets incredibly fast. And incredibly hard as well. Its one downfall is its inability to fill large gaps. Super glue is fantastic for things that you can put really close together. It will give you a really high bond strength. As soon as that gap starts to become large, it will fail almost instantly. So again, be aware when using this stuff. One thing about the super glue and things like Superfast is it has quite a high cure temperature. Superfast more than the sole pack. So if you are using it close to any sensitive structures, be really careful that you don't scald the horse when you inject it in. So again, the sole pack isn't quite as high. You can feel the heat when you're injecting it in, but more so than anything else is Superfast. If you are anywhere near anything sensitive, just be aware of that. If you've got to take, if you're not doing adrenaline all the way back to blood, it rules out your ability to use something like Superfast, because when you inject it in, you just scald the horse. And it'll be absolutely crippled. Okay, one of the materials described previously can aid to repairing hooves and keep them sound. Previously we relied on traditional methods, nature's ability to repair, and a little time in order to restore soundness. Okay, the world in which we live in now, everybody wants something immediately, and with the modern materials, we're more able we're far more versatile as a farrier. I mean, even 15 years ago to what the farrier today has got, and not comparable really. So modern materials are good when they're used correctly. Okay, there are two primary areas which modern materials can be used, and they are for bonding, which is joining through two things together, and supporting is the second one. So the acrylics and urethanes and so on, which these are capable of bridging these big gaps, whereas the cyano, I can't know what it's called now, acrylics, whatever it is, we're talking really small gaps. They can be used for reprofiling feet. Once they set, they do set quite hard again, especially super fast, and you can pretty much do whatever you want with super fast. You can rebuild an entire hoof using super fast. And it's the same with the imprint granules. You can effectively rebuild an entire hoof. That's one of the beauties of modern materials is its versatility and the ability to pretty much do anything that you like. Okay, we've talked about that. Generally, we use for bonding together components at a very close fit, usually less than 0.1 mil. Some of the old, I don't know if you remember, they used to do like an aluminium glue-on shoe and like hard bar. That was quite often glued on with this stuff, and it used to have little holes in it, so when you squeezed it on, the modern material was squeezed up through the hole and it gave it a bit of like a mechanical lock, but the holes were really, really small, because anything bigger than that, and then it starts to fail. We've talked about that. Yeah, and another advantage is it allows the hoof to move and flex. It eliminates any landing pressure points on the hoof wall. If you put a substance on that's really, really hard, and the foot's trying to expand and it's expanding against something hard, then it will create pressure points and it will point below the foot, often giving yourself more problems. So you need something that does give with the hoof. And again, this looks good for it. Okay, I should really go through health and safety with you, but I don't want to talk about it any more than you really want to listen to it, so I've put some signs up there. Just make sure you use PPE, COSH, etc., etc. And health and safety is common sense. So rather than me spend 20 minutes with health and safety, I'll get on with the practical demonstration if you want to swap them over cameras. So, right. The first thing I'm going to do is, before we go on to the dorsal wall crack, I've done some adrenaline already because I didn't want to be sitting around my spent half an hour adrenaline. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a full foot sole pack. I put a slide up in the laminitis lecture where I did the back half of the foot. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to fill the entire foot. Uses for this would be obviously horses with thin soles, horses that feel the stones will probably be your biggest complaint as a farrier is your horse doesn't like going on stones and so on. This is a really good solution to it. The amount at which you fill the foot is entirely up to you. You can either put a thin layer across, so just the bottom, or you can fill it all the way up to the ground bearing surface. If you are going to fill it up to the ground bearing surface, which I'm going to do on this particular one, sometimes what you find, especially horses that have got collapsed feet and collapsed heels, is it's almost too much pressure and they don't like, the foot ends up getting locked up because you've got the shoe, then you've got the sole pack. So I'd love to claim credit for this, but it's a guy called Dave Mitchell. He's not here, but I'll credit him with it anyway. A good system is to, your pad that you push it on with, is just to line it with some bubble wrap. You've got can you see that all it is just standard bubble wrap. The back side of these pads are sticky, and just line it with it. What we'll do is when we inject the resin into it and it starts to set, we'll put that on, and when we take it off, the imprint from the bubbles will create little indents. The benefits of this are twofold. One is the grip, it just gives it a little bit of extra grip, because if you let it set completely flat, sometimes it can be a bit slippy. But I think more importantly is when the horse stands, the little imprints that you've given obviously compress, and that just allows the foot just ever so slightly just to descend, and it cuts down on the amount of upward pressure. And sometimes horses that don't particularly go well, if you fill it up right the way to the top, just by putting these little bubbles in, you'll find that it doesn't lock the foot up quite so much. Okay, so I'm probably doing that now. This is Vetex Equipack. It says, put it on. Okay, it's the blue. There's two types. There's the blue one, which is a clear one, and then a green one, which has cotton sulphate in it to help with thrush and so on. The green one's more expensive than this one, but not by much. Okay, it comes in two tubes, two separate chemicals. Once it goes down the mixer tube, it mixes the two together. That starts the chain reaction off. So almost as you're injecting it down the tube, it's already beginning to set. That doesn't mean you've got to panic and get it in as fast as you can. You've got plenty of time, and as long as it keeps moving, it will start to set. As it starts to stay still, that's when it starts to set. Right, so when it arrives with a cap on the top. All you've got to do is all we've done is we've shod the horse. Once the shoe's fitted, cooled out, ready to go on, you get the mesh, which it comes in a big long tube. You basically put it up the shoe, cut it out around it, and then cut the mesh right down to the profile of the shoe. Now some people don't use the mesh and just inject it straight into the foot. I would say to you, always use the mesh, for the simple reason that this particular one is non-adhesive. It doesn't stick to anything. So you inject it in, and it's a little bit tacky when it goes in, so you think, well, that's stuck, and it will stick, but within a couple of hours, the only thing that's holding it in is the bits that have got under the rim of the shoe. So within a week maximum, you'll be getting a phone call saying, oh, it's fallen out. And if your clients are paying 35-40 quid for one of these, they kind of want to stay, they want it staying in for the whole shoe cycle. So for the amount of time and the amount of money that this mesh costs, always put the mesh in. Okay, or otherwise it will fall out. A few things. One thing to look. If you have a big foot, again, the more of this stuff you use, you kind of know what size foot one whole tube will do. Like one tube will comfortably do this foot. Slightly bigger, you might have to change tubes. You might have to change these. The key to do that, and it's possible to do it as long as you set up for it and everything's ready. Because what happens is, if you inject one tube in, and as it's setting, you change the tube, put the other one in, put the mixed tube on, snip it off, balance it all out. The stuff that's in there will already be setting. And what happens is when you inject a second tube in, it will just rest on the first tube. But because it's not adhesive, they won't stick to each other and it will layer. And what will happen is the second layer you put in, because there's no mesh there, will over time just drop out again. So if you are going to change tubes, get yourself ready for the tube change and do it quickly, and you should be okay. But if you put some in and it's setting, don't then re-inject a second tube on top because it'll just layer and it'll drop out. Okay, so when you're ready, you just stick the end of the tube off. Now again, it's really important. You have varying degrees of gas pockets in the top where the liquid isn't quite. Can I inject onto your floor? Okay, the good thing to do is just inject a small amount onto the floor from a fresh tube. Just to get the liquid right at the point where you want to start injecting it. Because what will happen if you don't, is when you put your mixer tube on and start to inject it, one of the liquids will leave the chamber first and it will coat the whole of your mixer tube. So the stuff that goes down after it doesn't mix properly, and again you end up with problems like layering, and it doesn't quite set properly. And you'll kind of know when it's happened, and it's probably because you just didn't equalise the two chambers. I'm just trying to get it out there, just wants to start, to keep going. With an open heel shoe, you need some form of a barrier at the back to stop all the material from dropping out. With a hard bar, or a straight bar, or an egg bar, you don't need the planer at the back because the bar will do it. And any like in this particular, there was a gap where the shoe wasn't touching. There's a bit of like a V-shaped crack there. So just fill that in with Play-Doh as well. And it just stops it from all leaking out the side, because that's what it will do, because like I said, it goes in as a liquid and then it sets as a solid. Another good thing to do is if you've got a horse with an abscess, for example, and the sole's quite sensitive there, thinking of things like laminitis or any reason, a good thing to do is just make up a plug out of Play-Doh And then wherever the abscess is, put the plug in, like so, and then inject your resin around it. Obviously that plug needs to be the height of the shoe. I'm not going to spend all the time now. Inject your resin into it, let it all set. Once it's set, pull the plate out. It is a bit difficult to get all the plate out, but it will come out eventually, and that way you have a little access hole for the abscess, and you're not creating any pressure where the horse doesn't want the pressure. But for this one, I'm going to fill the whole foot. So all we do is just get a bit of it and just inject it onto the floor.
Okay, the forelimb's not too bad because you can lift it right up and get it level. The hind limb's a bit more difficult because of the nature of the hind limb. It's difficult to get it up, and it will all run forward. You've got to put the stuff on and push it back again. And then all you do is just gently squeeze the tube. Okay, so there's no rush, plenty of time, just keep moving your stuff around. If you are doing a hind limb, it's better to start right at the back because it'll run forward anyway. It's not too critical on a front limb because you can get it up, and even better on a dead leg. Because... Do what? What, the dead legs? No, I get 30 seconds in out of the cotton store cupboard, like a supermarket dash. So once you get it up to the level of the shoe, you put your pad on. Obviously, bearing in mind this is a live horse. Just push it down gently, run your fingers over it just to get rid of any unlevelness. You want to leave it about, the set time is 30 seconds, and especially with the bubble wrap stuff, you want to leave it just a little bit under 30 seconds so it's still not quite set. Hold it up with the pad on. Once you get to sort of 20 seconds, let the horse put the foot down because you want it to stand on the pad and you want to push it to over down it. So let him put his foot on the floor and stand on it. And that just gives a good aid into the bubble. And then leave it for generally about 2 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Again, it says on the tube 30 seconds, but if you start trying to peel this off, after 30 seconds you'll find a lot of it comes out with it. So if you give it a good couple of minutes, just to give it its final set, peel it away, and then that's it, job done. You can see, so I've got about a quarter of the tube left for a foot that size. So I often find these that are about, I don't know, 20, 30 cc's too less. Once you start getting a foot a tiny bit bigger than that, you need like a tube and a tiny little bit, which is a real pain trying to change the cartridges in time. But again, it's just practice. Sorry mate, on the table. Right, so it's just a case of once you have finished, if you have got some stuff left in it, then, I mean, personally I just leave the mixer tube on. I've got a plastic box that they all go in. So I just leave the mixer tube on and throw it in the box. It does come with a... Where is it? It does come with a cap that's got two little things that you put in and twist, but quite often you try and pull this off and it's stuck in there, or that gets stuck in there, and you've got to pull it out. So it's just easier if you just leave the mixer tube on it, and then when you're next up to use it, load it into your gun, take the old mixer tube off, put a new one on, and then you're away again. So a good test of whether it's set or not is the stuff that's in the tube. Just see whether it's set. Now this stuff sets like bouncy ball consistency. It is quite soft for the very nature of the way you put in the sole. Certainly you could never rebuild any foot and you could never nail into it.
or anything like that. It's not going to put it on the wall itself, it's just simply not strong enough, quite apart from it doesn't stick to anything either. Which makes it really good for sole pressure, not sole pressure, horses with thin soles, horses that feel with stones. And once you've finished it, the horse has stood on it. When you got, 350, 400 kilo horse standing on it, when you pick it up, you've got to forget an imprint of the shoe with the nail sticking through it, which is kind of what we're after. In this case, it's difficult to create with a dead leg. Just peel back a little bit, see whether it's set, which it has. Okay, gently peel it off. It's non-adhesive, so it won't stick to this stuff. Peel it away from your. Just roll it up. Okay, and there we go. You can come up at the end and have a feel of it. You can see how deep the indents of the bubble wrap is. So there's two options. One is to use the bubble wrap, and the second one is you don't need to use the bubble wrap, just inject it in, put the pad as it is on the top, and also what will happen is it will look exactly the same, but just won't have the bubble marks in it, depending on what you want to do. Okay, so that's a full foot sole pack. What we'll go on to now is we'll go on to the dorsal wall crack repair using imprint grinders. Has anybody used, imprint grinders for crack repairs? Where is it? Where it is. It comes, it's like a thermoplastic. It comes in these tubes. In order to use it, you need to get it hot by using boiling water. And the good thing about these granules is that, again, they're non-adhesive. It only becomes time specific once you put the adhesive into the foot. So you can get it hot and let it cool down as often as you like. And every time you get it hot, it will become bendy and flexible. As it cools down, it goes white, like the way it is when it starts. When it goes hot, it goes transparent, and I'll show you that when it comes to doing it. So what I'm first going to do, just turn that foot over. Okay, I've started, just to cut down the amount of time that you start watching nothing, I've started to Dremel out the crack. I'll just finish out Dremeling out the crack. It's really important to put these little notches into the. There's a bit of a marker pen which denotes the crack. Obviously, it didn't have a crack, we just sort of invented it. When you are Dremeling, if you are Dremeling down to the crack, you need to go all the way through until you get to the end of the crack. Because if you leave the crack quite deep, it won't join the two halves together. Part of the problem with a dorsal wall crack especially is if it's the entire length of the wall and it's quite wide, you're effectively dealing with a cloven-footed animal. The two halves of the hoof work independently, and again that's to tear the foot apart. You have all sorts of problems. The good thing about this, as opposed to stapling and all the older methods, is you're effectively joining the two halves of the hoof together, and it allows the foot to function as one. Which is why I always use imprint granules as opposed to the staples and so on. So you get your horse, you draw your notches in. I've just Dremeled out the outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this section here and level it all and smooth it all down, and then it's ready for the crack repair. Okay, so it's been dremeled out now. You can see the notches where you put the notches in, wherever possible, depending on the size of the hoof. You just try and stagger the notches, a bit like when you build a house, you don't have the bricks directly opposite each other. So just try and stagger them, even if it's only slightly between your little notches. If you didn't put these in and you just have it straight up and down, obviously it wouldn't be as strong as if you just take these little indents out. Like I said before, when you're doing your crack, make sure you go all the way through so there's no crack all the way. Obviously, you try not to draw blood, especially if you're putting glue on. It's still quite hard there, but I've gone through the hoof wall. Once the hot water arrives,
What all that stuff you sprayed on it for?
oh yeah, sorry, that's just surgical spirit. So just spray that and just get rid of any stuff that we'll need structural adhesive, the imprint structural adhesive for use with imprint granules, and the freezer, the imprint, call it a shoe freezer, and all that does is once it's on and in, this stuff just cools it down a little bit quicker. You know when it's cool and ready to rasp, because it goes back to being white again and it goes hard. And all this stuff does is just help to achieve that a little bit quicker. It doesn't really matter if you don't have this, it will just take a little bit longer to set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just pour your empty granules in, push them down, so they're all in the water, and you'll see that? Is it on screen?
Yeah.
Can you see that they've gone transparent? You can see through them. That's a sign that they're hot enough and ready to work. So they'll already stick together. Oh, it's hot. So get them out, squeeze them together. Okay, this is what I mean. You can use this as often as you like. Get it to roughly the shape. Check that you've got enough. Get it to roughly the shape of the crack. You can have as much of this overhanging as you like, although the tighter you can get it to fit, the less grasping you'll have to do once you put the adhesive in at the end. But make sure you've got enough to comfortably fill the crack without any gaps. Okay, you don't have to do this stage. The more of it you do, the more confident you get. You don't have to do this, you can just put the adhesive straight in, pull that straight out of the water, squeeze it together like I did, and then put it straight on. If you want to take it a little bit slower, then push it in, and then you can see the outline of the cracks there. It's starting to go off, it's just starting to go white around the edges. So we know it's the right size because we've tested it, so put it back in the hot water. It'll then heat itself up and go all floppy again. And then, so we're ready now for the adhesive. The same applies to this stuff, just inject a little bit of it out into the tube if it's a new tube. Okay, and then what you do, okay, good amount of glue, but not too much, otherwise when you put stuff in, it'll just be made up of glue. Okay, and then just squeeze it in again. When you squeeze it in, just be careful not to squeeze all the glue out. There are times when, for whatever reason, it just doesn't take, in which case, just start again. Okay, so smooth it down. And you can keep working this stuff as long as it stays looking like this. Once it turns to white, then rough side and smooth side. The stuff that's in the crack will hopefully stay in the crack. The stuff around the edges, just take it off. The more and more of it you do, obviously the narrower covering, because you get a good layer of it. You get a little bit conservative because the amount of granules you use. Sometimes you don't feel a lot confident, you don't get a good bond. So you can see that the excess has come off now, and the only bit that remains is the bit that you used. The bit that you dribble down, the bit that you fill with glue. Okay, once you've got it in that position, it's just a case of rasping it smooth. And job done. Exactly the same thing applies with this stuff. Advice to owners would be, well, I mean, I'd say leave it in for certainly the rest of the day, just to give it its final set before it starts to get exposed to too much water and mud. As you know, the Achilles heel of all modern materials is mud. Dirty, horrible fields, but sometimes you just don't listen to them, they turn it out water out anyway. But it certainly needs a good few hours for it to